Africa is not just a continent, it is a battlefield. Every tribe, every people, every kingdom carries the memory of warriors. And in this battlefield, only lions lead. The truth about Africa is this: power is not shared, it is seized. Leadership here is not given, it is taken with claws, with vision, with the roar of authority. Today, we count down the 10 most powerful presidents in Africa, ranked not just by titles, but by their strength, their nation's development, the resilience of their currencies, and their scramble to shape the destiny of Africa itself. Number 10. William Ruto, the hustler president of Kenya. Kenya's William Ruto calls himself the hustler president, and indeed, he clawed his way to the top from the dusty fields of poverty. Like a lion that rose from the bottom of the pride, Ruto embodies ambition. Kenya's economy remains one of East Africa's largest, a hub of innovation, technology, and agriculture. But his currency, the Kenyan shilling, weakens under global pressure, and inflation bites hard. Still, Ruto stands as a warrior politician, a fighter whose moves on the African stage can never be ignored. He represents the struggle of millions of ordinary Africans, proof that even in the savannah of politics, a hustler can rise to king. Number 9. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of Africa, Nigeria. Nigeria is Africa's giant, and its president, Bola Tinubu, is no ordinary politician. Known as the Jagaban of Borgu, meaning leader of warriors, Tinubu is a kingmaker turned king. Nigeria holds Africa's largest GDP. The naira struggles under pressure, yet its oil wealth, population power, and influence make Tinubu's role impossible to ignore. He is feared, respected, and calculated. For decades, Nigerian politics was his battlefield. Today, the Jagaban sits on the throne. Number 8. Cyril Ramaphosa, the Buffalo, South Africa. Ramaphosa carries the nickname Shandy's, the Buffalo, not just because of his cattle wealth, but because he moves with slow, quiet force. South Africa remains Africa's most industrialized nation. It's rand among the continent's strongest currencies. But Ramaphosa rules a divided land. Strikes, inequality, and corruption scandals still shake the ground beneath him. Yet, like a buffalo, he absorbs the blows and stays standing, waiting for the right moment to charge. Number 7. Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, the Pharaoh, Egypt. Egypt's president is seen as a modern pharaoh. With one of Africa's most powerful armies at his command, El-Sisi rules with discipline and absolute control. The Egyptian pound may weaken under pressure, but Egypt's strategic location and military strength keep it a key African power. From the pyramids of history to the Suez Canal of today, El-Sisi wears the crown of a man who knows that Egypt's destiny has always been to lead. If you love my voice and are enjoying what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to come, and I want you to be part of this reawakening journey. Believe me, I've got even more up my sleeves. Number 6. Haile Selassie, the Diplomat president, Ethiopia. Ethiopia, the land of ancient empires and never colonized pride, now has Haile Selassie as its president. A seasoned diplomat and former ambassador to the United Nations, he steps into leadership with years of international experience rather than a military background. Ethiopia's bare struggles under economic pressure and internal tensions remain a challenge after years of conflict. Yet the country's population size, history, and strategic location in the Horn of Africa give it undeniable influence. Haile Selassie brings a softer approach, diplomacy instead of force, negotiation instead of battlefield strategy. His role is largely ceremonial compared to Ethiopia's prime minister, but his presence represents stability and Ethiopia's image abroad. Known as a careful speaker with strong ties to international institutions, Haile Selassie embodies Ethiopia's long tradition of diplomacy and resilience. He may not be a warrior in uniform, but as the diplomat president, he carries the burden of showing the world that Ethiopia remains a pillar of African pride and independence. Number 5. Alassane Ouattara, the banker president, Côte d'Ivoire. Ouattara is not a general, nor a warlord. He is a banker president, a man of finance who rose from the IMF to rule Côte d'Ivoire. Under his leadership, the Ivorian franc is stable, the economy among the fastest growing in West Africa. Ouattara fights not with guns, but with money. His battlefield is the global market, his weapon the West African CFA franc. Number 4. Ibrahim Traoré, the young revolutionary, Burkina Faso. At just 36 years old, Ibrahim Traoré is Africa's youngest leader, a soldier who stormed into power through a coup and won the admiration of millions. Traoré calls himself a son of Thomas Sankara, carrying the same fire of Pan-Africanism. His leadership is bold, defiant, and openly anti-colonial. Burkina Faso's economy struggles, yet Traoré has turned his youth into strength, casting himself as a warrior of liberation. He is the young revolutionary, and to many, the face of Africa's new rebellion. He does not walk in the shadow of Thomas Sankara. He claims the torch of Sankara, carrying the same fearless energy that once shook Burkina Faso and inspired a continent. His words cut like fire, his presence commands like a warrior king, and his stance against France and foreign exploitation has turned him into the poster child of Africa's anti-colonial resistance. Burkina Faso's economy may tremble, its resources may be limited, but Traoré transforms weakness into strength, turning his youth into a weapon. He is not a politician, he is a symbol. To the young, jobless African on the street, Traoré is proof that a new age is possible. To his critics, he is reckless. But to his supporters, he is the rebirth of Sankara, the iron fist of a new generation, and the face of Africa's unfinished revolution. Number 3. Abdelmadjid Tebboune, the oil general, Algeria. In Algeria, oil and gas are king, and Tebboune rules as the oil general. His power is tied to Algeria's energy wealth, feeding Europe and fueling Africa's north. Algeria's dinar may not be the strongest, but oil dollars flow like rivers, giving Tebboune a seat among Africa's most powerful leaders. His weapon is not soldiers or slogans, but barrels of crude. Number 2. Paul Kagame, the Iron Commander, Rwanda. Kagame is called the Iron Commander. He ended Rwanda's genocide with military precision and rebuilt the nation with military discipline. Kigali is now one of Africa's cleanest, safest, and most organized cities. Rwanda's currency is stable, its economy growing, but Kagame rules with tight control. Dissent is silenced, critics vanish, and the Iron Commander's grip remains unbroken. To his supporters, he is Africa's modern miracle. To his critics, a dictator in disguise. Thanks for watching so far. But hold up, before we reveal our number 1, smash that subscribe button right now. Go ahead, hit it, because what comes after this list will blow your mind. We've just explored the most powerful presidents in Africa, but what about the other side of the coin? The worst 10, the ones who sleep through cabinet meetings, drown their countries in debt, and yes, even rumors of presidents who forget their own ministers' names or can't keep it together on stage. Trust me, you don't want to miss that video. So press that button, turn on notifications, and let's dive into the number 1 most powerful president in Africa. Can you guess who it is? Pause the video now and comment your guess. You have 2 seconds. If your guess matches ours, congratulations. You got it right. At number 1 stands Ghana's John Dramani Mahama. The Black Star, the shining symbol of Pan-African pride and the modern echo of Kwame Nkrumah's dream. Under his leadership, Ghana has remained one of West Africa's most stable democracies, even as neighbors struggle with coups and unrest. Yes, the Sadi has faced its storms, but Ghana's resilience lies not only in its economy, but in its stability, its diplomacy, and its enduring democratic institutions. In the absence of a strong representative from Nigeria, the so-called giant of Africa, Mahama has stepped into the continental spotlight. The world saw this at the recent United Nations General Assembly, where his speech was more than just rhetoric, it was a declaration. He spoke not as a small West African president, but as the voice of Africa itself, bold, unapologetic, and unshaken in demanding justice and equity for the continent.
It has famously been written that past is prologue. Well, in the past, the majority of the 54 nations that now comprise Africa were never offered a seat at the table where plans for a new world order were being drawn. But, Madam President, as fate would have it, the tables are turning, and Africa's role in the authorship of whatever is yet to come for this world is going to be huge, and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African. Already if this reality, which is fact-based and straightforward, seems provocative or unsettling, perhaps it's because you are viewing it through the lens of centuries of filters, colonialism and imperialism, and the resulting implicit bias. Maybe you are unaware of the resilience of African nations or their remarkable ability to make a strong comeback just when you think it's safe to count them out. In 1995, during the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, Nelson Mandela stood in this very spot. And he said, the United Nations has to reassess its role, redefine its profile, and reshape its structures. It should truly reflect the diversity of our universe and ensure equity among the nations in the exercise of power within the system of international relations in general, and the Security Council in particular. I close quotations. 30 years later, we African leaders are still making the same simple request for a permanent seat on the Security Council with the power of a veto. So today, Madam President, I stand here in this exact spot and ask the world, if not now, then when? For nearly 2 years and for the fear of reprisals, we here in this General Assembly have been playing hide and seek with language to find the right words to help us avoid or excuse what we all know is taking place in Gaza. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you call it. If it looks like a duck, it swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it must be a duck. The crimes in Gaza must stop.
Unlike many leaders who rely on military force or authoritarian control, Mahama's power is rooted in the authority of legitimacy, the respect of democracy, and the strength of diplomacy. He is a lawyer, a statesman, and above all, a visionary who has placed Ghana at the table of global discussions with confidence. When he speaks, he does not speak only for Accra. He speaks for Lagos, Dakar, Nairobi, and Johannesburg. His authority carries the spirit of a continent long denied its place, now demanding it back. Ghana, under Mahama, has become a beacon of African dignity, a stable nation where transitions of power are respected, where the rule of law is upheld, and where Pan-Africanism still breathes. For this, the Black Star burns brightest, not as a symbol of one nation, but as the shining flame of Africa's rightful place in the world. Thanks for watching, and until next time, when I bring you another African fact, subscribe now.
Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms, ready to be covered in scars, 'cause I will always be a warrior. Late nights, get lost, hard work,